God, it was rough to get on here today. I know I don't have all my makeup on, but you know, what can I do? Anyways, it's Let's Talk Real Estate. Anything and everything you want to ask me about real estate and more. So today is Friday, so we're trying to do this every Friday, sometime around 3:30, sometimes going longer, sometimes going shorter, depending on how many of you jump on. Last week I was in New York and I didn't come on Friday. I believe it was actually Sunday when we finally got to it, but we were at a Christian film festival and I got Best Writer and my actress got Best Actress, but that's not what this is about. This is about real estate. So they're grounding you guys up to see if you want to come and join me. My hair is a mess because I looked at the clock and I was trying to find some properties for a client. So people are still looking for real estate, and they should be, as they should be, because you know what happens every year, right around October, interest rates do come down. So yesterday somebody asked me in class that they said, what does your brother say about the crystal ball about what's going to happen with the interest rates? And every October, I don't know if anybody even notices this, but my brother and I notice this every single year. In October, interest rates seem to dip a little bit, and that's because interest rates go up a little bit during the summertime because that's when everybody is looking to buy. And so if everybody's looking to buy and there's a demand, interest rates can go up slightly so the lenders can make more money over the 30-year period because people want to buy homes when their children get out of school and before they get into their new school. So that's why interest rates drop in October. So right now I'm helping a veteran look for a property. Originally we were going to look for units, but there's not a lot of units out there in what you can qualify for. Now today we were supposed to be in Moreno Valley at our property that just went on the MLS today. And it's on Tyler Street in Moreno Valley. It's not all the way into Moreno Valley. Right when you're starting to get into Moreno Valley, you get off on Box Springs Road, and it's that very first exit when you're starting to get into Moreno Valley. You get off, you go over the freeway, and that home has an amazing view. I think Jessica's going to have an open house on Sunday because she had to go back east. She also flew back east and picked up a truck and headed back this way. So Jessica's my assistant on this property in Moreno Valley. The list price is $599.99. I probably should mention my license number since I am telling you about a property that is now on the MLS. It's 01018706 is my broker's license, and I work for Butler Real Estate and Investment Group. Soon to be moving my license to California Real Estate Experts, where I am mentoring and helping new agents. So questions I get all the time. So I don't know which two of you are on there, so I don't know if they're questions that you guys ask. But anyway, how it works is like this. I have one question that people ask me all the time, and that is, can I be a loan officer and a real estate agent at the same time? And people see that I do it at the same time, but that's because I was a loan officer for 10 solid years before I did go ahead and jump into the real estate arena. So my hair is really bugging me today. It's like really, because I want to say it's been a long day. I've been going through and looking for staging stuff and thinking, man, I should be recording this a day in the life of Sharon Butler when I wake up and take my dogs for a walk. And then what I did was my garage, I probably, one of these days, maybe I'll take you in there and show you. It is about 3 houses worth of furniture. And we're debating if we want to stage the house that she's doing the open house for, because quite honestly, it's in Moreno Valley. We're gonna have to lug the stuff out there, bring it back. So staging does help the property tremendously. I mean, the difference in, so I'm sorry about that. I should have put it on airplane mode and do not disturb and everything, but people keep calling me while I'm in my class. But I probably shouldn't even have this go on live because it's been one of those crazy days. So let's go to questions about real estate that people ask me all the time so that you guys can have something good to listen to. So the first question is, can I be a loan officer at the same time a real estate agent? I have several videos on that, and yes, you can. However, the main reason that you don't want to do both, of course, now I'm doing this out of my home today, and my dog wants to be let out, and she's way at the other door. Of course, you can see there's a nice door right behind me, but she's at the door on the other side of the house. So she's going to have to learn to come this way if she wants me to let her out. But anyway, so if you are a real estate agent and you're thinking of getting your MLO license, yes, you can do that. However, here's the deal. If you work for a large real estate office like Century 21, I don't know, Berkshire Hathaway, EXP, all the bigger companies, they want you to sell real estate. That's why you're there, to sell real estate. So the bigger companies want you to sell real estate. Now the smaller companies, there are smaller companies. In fact, the guy that was just trying to call in right now, he's with Rise Real Estate and Mortgage, and they do both. Now, I don't know if he lets the real estate agents do the mortgage for the same deal, but legally and technically, you can do a conventional loan and represent the buyer on the same deal. So if it's conventional. If it's government and you're doing FHA or VA, you cannot do the loan and the real estate transaction at the same time. You have to have a different real estate agent if you're doing a government loan than the person whom you are. Let's see, what else? There's many different types of real estate loan officers. There's a type of loan officers that have to have their real estate license, and there's the type that do not have to have their real estate license. So when you're thinking about getting your MLO license and becoming an MLO, you have to make a decision if you're going to work for a company that requires you to have your real estate license or not require you to have your real estate license. And there's Wilford, my dog, that wants to get out. Meek is on one side, Wilfred's sitting below me. So if you have a real estate license and you want to be a loan officer, you can work at a company that does both real estate and loans, or a company that's under the Department of Real Estate that also requires you to have your MLO license. So if they're under the Department of Real Estate, you have to have your real estate license in order to work for them. Now, if they're under the Department of Finance and Innovation, okay, Finance and Innovation, it usually you'd be a mortgage banker, or you would be a company that puts your loan officers on a salary, so they have an hourly salary, and then they get a small amount per file. Those companies are more like mortgage bankers, and they do have their license under the Department of Innovation and Finance. So two main types of loan officers once you become a loan officer: one that has a real estate license and works under the Department of Real Estate, and one that does not have a real estate license and works under the Department of Innovation and Finance. And it's Diana. Hi, you're driving right now? It's me. I know. Hi, how you doing? And then there's another two types of real estate agents. Loan officers. I'm sorry. It's one of those days. And those are the type that are either registered or state licensed. So if you're registered and you went to anybody, like you can do it right after this video, you can go to the NMLS website, okay, NMLS, and you can go there and register and get what we call a unique identifier. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to get a unique identifier. You go on there, you open up an account, and you get a unique identifier, and now that is like your license number, but it's called a unique identifier. Now, once you have the unique identifier, you have that number, you can go and work at a bank or a depository. A depository would be like a bank, a credit union, one of the places that people walk in and have a checking or savings account with. So you can go work at one of those places with a unique identifier. Absolutely no education. You don't have to take a 20-hour class. You don't have to pay a fee. You're just registered. You have a unique identifier number, and you can go work at a bank that will hire you, or a credit union. Got that? Now, if you do that, you don't have to pay the $300 fee per year, and you don't have to take the continuing education. That is a registered loan officer. Now, a licensed loan officer takes a 20-hour class, and let me tell you, it's a long 20 hours. At Real Estate Trainers, I teach the 20-hour all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and Monday night. Sometimes we teach it 5 hours a day for 4 days. So you can choose whichever poison, I guess you would say, you want. You take the 20-hour class. At the end of the 20-hour class, we do a final, and you pass the 20-hour test. Well, pass the 20-hour class with the 20-hour test. Or you can do a 20-hour class online. But the ones online, they watch you too. I took one online and I didn't learn anything. And then I took a Crown course. So then if you don't learn anything, you think you need help, you can take a Crown course, or you can watch my videos, and you can pass the national test. Once you pass the national test, now you can go ahead and you can add other states. So people always ask me about that too. They're like, well, what if I want to do another state? Well, what you do is you go online and you take the state-specific classes you get a certificate, and then you register it with the NMLS, and you can get as many states as you want. And you could do loans in all those different states. So that's the difference between the different types of loan officers. And if you're becoming a loan officer, you actually need to know this stuff for the national test. So that's becoming a loan officer. Now, like I said, you can do loans and real estate at the same time. If you're at a big company and they say, no, we just want you to sell real estate, you can talk to the manager and say, well, I work at this place and my license is under the Department of Innovation and Finance, so that's my mortgage license. Can I go ahead and be on that and on a contract? And it's up to your broker at the company that you work at if they're going to let you do both. Now, like I said, smaller companies like Rise, he was just calling through, it's called Rise Real Estate and Mortgage in Anaheim. And the company I work at, Mutual Home Mortgage, our licensed loan officers have to have real estate licenses, so they're technically able to do both. So that's the question I get tons and tons of times. Can I do both? Yes, you can. Depends on where you work. So the smaller boutique companies are going to be the ones that let you do both. The other questions I get, how do I study for the test? How do you normally study? That's my question. Depending on how you take tests and how good are you at taking tests, I have tons of videos on tricks to take tests and what you should and you shouldn't do. One of my main things for most people that are taking tests is make sure you get enough sleep the night before, because if you don't get enough sleep the night before you take a test, your brain doesn't quite work the same way. And you really want to be rested up for your test. And I had somebody that was talking to me about the mortgage test, and I thought they were talking about the real estate test. Two totally different tests, okay? The mortgage test, I'm told by my students, is 7 times harder than the real estate test. The mortgage test is more like the Series 7 test. And on the mortgage test, you have to know how to answer scenarios. Like, you have these borrowers and this is the kind of income they have, this kind of debt they have, what kind of loan would you offer them? Or they're retiring in 3 years, what kind of loan would you offer them? Those kinds of things. On the real estate test, it's more like word association on all the different terminologies you need to know. And that's why I did the vocabulary that I did. I was told from some people that they were taking vocabularies from other people, and those vocabularies were not state specific. State specific means you're learning the words that you have to know for California, or you're learning the words you have to know for the state that you're trying to get your license in. So I did a California state-specific vocabulary. Right now it's up on my website, ssbutler.com. So my name is Sharon Suzanne Butler, so it's ssbutler.com. It has my vocabulary, but if you can wait, don't buy it yet, or if you don't need it, whatever. The vocabulary that's up there now is a PowerPoint. It's only $39, and if you're good with just a PowerPoint, that'll work. Hey, Sharon, KJ here. Excited. I'm super excited to see you live. And I wish, ask me questions because I'm here to talk about real estate. And so anyways, I was talking about the vocabulary for the state exam, and we did a video. Now, I'm not perfect, as you well know. Sometimes I stutter, sometimes I say stuff and then I go, oops, I shouldn't have said that. But on the vocabulary, there's some things that, what I did was I took a general vocabulary and I took the cram course I teach and some of the stories I teach. I put them together and I did a really kick butt video. Now I do have some mistakes in there, but it's gonna be amazing. Right now what's happening is I was just gonna have the video of me standing there and have the PowerPoint that you're gonna get the PowerPoint, and you're gonna be able to have the PowerPoint, you're gonna have an hour of coaching by me personally, and you can have the hour of coaching before you take the state exam, after you take the state exam, or you could have a half hour before and a half hour after. All you gotta do is call me and set up the time that you wanna speak with me, and I will answer your real estate questions, whether it's, so I can help you if you're trying to get your real estate license, trying to get your broker's license, trying to get your mortgage license. I know all those things. I flipped houses, so I can help you flip houses if you wanna know if that's something you can do. Right now, I was getting really excited because I found this one property in Fountain Valley that it's a condo. It needs to be flipped. I'm trying to figure out, the next thing I'm gonna do is figure out how much it's worth if it's flipped, because it's weird. I gotta tell you guys what's happening right now with the CRMLS. So CRMLS is how people in California look on the MLS. And apparently they changed something that's not good. And so I can't wait till the next broker meeting, because that's next Tuesday, to talk about what happened to the CRMLS, because agents are putting in the area where it says single family, even though they're condos or townhomes. And apparently there's a glitch on the search. So we'll see what's going on, to be posted soon. But anyway, this condo I found is a condo, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's under $600,000. And it has a studio unit above the garage. So you could live in the 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo that has a backyard in Fountain Valley, and it has a unit above the garage that's a studio, so you could rent that out. And so I'm looking for a veteran so that he can get the history of being a landlord, because once you have a 2-year history of being a landlord, you can buy duplexes and triplexes and count that income as qualifying income. So that's cool stuff too. So questions people ask me, back to another thing people have been asking me lately a lot is, do I think it's a good time to buy? Well, I don't think the worst time to buy would have been the last couple of years when the prices were way too high. And people are thinking, well, if the prices come down, my mortgage will come down. That's not true. Your mortgage will not come down. It will stay up. You negotiated that mortgage and you have to have that. So anyway, the rates always dip in October, like I was saying earlier. So right now on FHA and VA, we're right around, I want to say 5 3/8 to 5.5, depending on your credit score. Got my license, but don't have my savings in order yet. Why do you need savings? Tell me more. And then it says strategies on setting up shop for real estate. Best start for the first 90 days. Oh my gosh, you've got to do that. I got my license. What do I do? Not that I really want to sell that class, but I'm doing it. I got my license. What do? I don't have my schedule in front of me, but I'm doing it on a Sunday. So I'm willing to guess it's next Sunday. And I really want to come up with a class. I don't know if you guys, what you think of this. Tell me. Not, I got my license. What do? I want to do, I'm thinking of getting my real estate license. What are my steps? Because I think that people need to know the steps involved in getting their real estate license before they make a decision. Not just for that, I hear everyone say you need 4 to 6 months of personal savings before you start. Not really. Okay, so that's a good question. So I am jumping around, but that's why it's called Let's Talk Real Estate. So here's the thing. I tell people they should have 4 to 6 months, but not before you start. Here's what I tell my new students that are in my classes in front of me. So I teach principles, practice, and escrow. I was teaching law, but the final on that was so hard for the students, we decided to switch it to something that might be a little easier. So first of all, let's talk about getting your license in the first place. So one of the questions I always ask is, are you thinking about investing and being an investor? Because sometimes as a licensed real estate agent, you might not want to be an investor because you have to disclose that you're the investor. Oh my God, genius. The stuff you have to do is so crazy. I wish I did or had heads up. I know, right? So the other thing I was going to do is I was actually go on the DRE website and show you how to navigate through the Department of Real Estate website, because that thing is crazy. So, okay, you take those classes. Now, while you're taking those classes, this is what I tell my students. I'm going to give you guys one of my things that I love doing. How about that? And I learned this. So I take classes so that I can learn something to share with you guys all the time. And I took this class and I teach this in, I got my license, what do? And listen carefully, because if you're going to be a real estate agent or a loan officer, this will work for you. Is first of all, you should be marketing your possible clients while you're going to class. And meaning, I'm not saying market them like say, I can help you buy a house or I can help you do a loan, because you're not licensed yet. Meaning, start the connections, start meeting people, start connecting with the people that are in your phone. What you do is you text them and you say, hey, I'm checking in on you. Text me back and let me know how you're doing. Then they're going to text you back and they're either going to say, who the hell is this? So some people say that to me. And I say, your favorite real estate instructor. Or I'll say, it's Sharon Butler. I have your phone number in my phone. I'm checking through my phones. And you start getting a conversation going back and forth. And you're connecting with those people, and then ask them, hey, what are you doing lately? And they'll say what they're doing. And you can say, well, yeah, I decided to take some real estate classes because I'm really interested in investing. And I'm also interested in helping people find their new home. So I got a 94 on the mortgage test. No way. On the second time real estate test, you got a 69 3 times. It's the real estate one's easier. You've got to watch my videos, okay? Because the mortgage one's harder. I hate to tell you. but I don't know if you were watching videos or not. But I've had people pass the real estate test just by watching my videos on my, you go to the playlist that says real estate ones. I think there's 47 videos. Watch the contract one because I say something magical in the contracts video because people pass when they watch that. I am teaching the real estate cram course this weekend at Real Estate Trainers, and that's from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the evening on Saturday and Sunday. However, the problem with that is the live class is already sold out. I just got the last person in there, and the online class is almost never sold out. There's usually about 100 people on there. So you can, if you're having a hard time passing the real estate test, here's 2 things I can tell you. 1, watch my videos, especially the contract one and the finance one. 2, the ones that have a lot of views. Then the vocabulary, my brother's the one who's working on it for me, and what he's doing is he's putting the video on one side and the PowerPoint on the other side, so that on the screen you see both, and then you're going to get the PowerPoint and an hour of coaching from me. So that's probably the best, cheapest thing you can do because it's under $100, and it's going to have everything you need to pass the real estate test and all the questions you can ask me. I also have questions and answers that you can practice, but that's not fun. And understanding your story. Oh, my stories really help a lot. And thank you. They do. And you know what's really weird, Elaine, is those stories are real and they all happened to me. I can't believe you're here again. What do you do? Just watch for this thing? Anyway, you were there when we were in New York. New York was awesome. Oh my God, you guys, the homes there. If you watch the video on the homes in New York, I know it looks, I know, right? I don't know why they did the thumb tag as the funeral thing, but that was kind of morbid. But excuse me, the houses there are phenomenally beautiful. The weather there was amazing, and Niagara Falls is, you've got to see that if you haven't seen it in your life. So let's see, what else were you, getting ready to get involved in taking, I passed the real estate test in July. Congratulations with my videos. Awesome. You're welcome. That's so cool. So I love hearing that people are passing the test because of my videos, because I'm really trying to help you guys. But if you need me to pre-approve your buyers for their loans, I'm more than willing to do their loans. I love doing loans. That's what I do. But so getting ready to get involved in taking your tests and getting involved in talking to people and making sure that you have people lined up. The girl that asked this question, I really want to help her out, or person, I don't know, because they flash by so fast, is do you have to have 4 to 6 months worth of money packed away to start your real estate? She's calling me and she knows I'm online. But anyway, here goes. This is the answer. Yes, you should have some money packed away, but you don't have to have the money packed away if you're going to keep your normal job. So I had a young girl, her name was Amy, and what she did was she knew she had to have a certain amount of money packed away before she quit her job. So if you're going to quit your job and go full on real estate, then yes, you have to have about 5 to 7 months worth of your income packed away so that you're able to survive, because you're not just going to have the money that you need to pay rent and to pay for food, but you're going to have money to pay for advertising that you're going to need, or if you're going to work at a company that's going to give you leads. So that's all in depending on what you're going to do. But think of it this way. What I did with Amy is she kept her full-time job, and I allowed her to start with me, and we closed her first deal and she got a check for $7,000. Then we closed her second deal and she got a check for $8,200. She already had $10,000 in the bank. So that money got put aside, and then she was able to quit her job. So if you can find a company that will let you start working with them, and you can have a mentor that helps you, and as you're going through each step of the real estate transaction, that's what we do at Real Estate Experts. We have people who are brand new come and work with us, and I explain what I'm going to do with their borrower. Then we do it. Then after we do it, we review it. So we do it 3 times with each deal. So if they close 3 deals, technically they've gone through 9 deals. And then if they want to become a mentor at our office, they become a mentor. If they want to go somewhere else and apply to work at another company, now they have experience. So I had one young lady talk to me yesterday, and she said that she's getting her license and she's about to take the test. And unfortunately, she said that she talked to several real estate offices in Long Beach, and a lot of them said you have to have a 2 years experience in order to come work there. Well, how are you going to get the experience if you have a full-time job, or if you just got your license. So the question is, how do you get started if nobody will let you get started? The best places would be, I hate to give names because some of the places that bring you in and say that they're going to train you won't train you. So the best thing you could do is work for a boutique place, or like our place where we're going to train you. Or I have several people that say that they'll take on new people. So if you have questions, feel free to ask me and I'll see what we can do. I'm interested in flipping properties. I'm in your class now. Are you in that nighttime class? Flipping properties right now, a lot of people are scared to flip properties, but that one that I just found, I think it would be a good one. And you got to see, if you're interested in flipping properties, do you have cash? Or are you going to get what type of loan you're going to get? Because the loan is also going to cost you money, and it's going to cost you holding costs. So since you're in my class, go ahead and talk to me, come up to me, or call me on the phone. I'll take calls, and we'll talk about flipping. Because in 1 year, I made one investor $880,000 on their flip. And that was because what you're really looking for is you're looking to make somewhere around $38,000 or more on each flip. And that way you can put that money towards the next flip and the next flip. Now, so come up to me and talk to me about it. What other kind of questions do you guys have? Because there's like 11 of you on there, and only a couple of you giving me questions. So throw them at me, and I'll see if I can answer them. We talked about how to become a loan officer. We're about to do that on a probate house. Oh yeah, the probate houses are great if you can get the probate house. A lot of those probate houses, grandma didn't do anything to them and they're falling apart. So I have one in Long Beach we're trying to evict somebody that the seller actually let this person move in because they didn't want the house to be vacant. So they let the person move in and now they can't get them out. Oh, you want to know about becoming a notary? Is it worth it? Okay, so it depends on how aggressive you are. So if you become a notary, you can legally, per the notary test, you can legally sign your own docs as a real estate agent or a loan officer. However, I don't think that the lenders are going to appreciate that. So you're going to need somebody else to sign your docs. If you're in a real estate office and they need a notary, then that would be a good thing. I had one young lady that was making 10 grand a month being a notary, but she said that it really, really slowed down when the interest rates went up. But like I said, October's going to come and it's going to dip. Now, the thing about the notary is it does take time. And the reason I say it takes time is you go and you take the class. The best one to take is the class that actually lets you have the test right afterwards. So you take the class, you take the test, then it takes a good 2 to 3 weeks to get your to get back from the state your results. Once you get your results, then you have to go ahead and you have to get your fingerprints done if you already did not do so, and your background check. And once you get started on it, you have a certain amount of time. You have 30 days to go into the county court, the county recorder's office, where you're going to be doing most of your business, and you have to be sworn in. And you have to do that within 30 days of the time that you get approved to go forward. Otherwise, it expires and you have to go and do it again. So, and the notary test, to me, honestly, I've taken the mortgage test, I've taken the real estate test, I'm doing my broker's renewal right now. And honestly, I dislike the notary test the most. And the very first question is always the hardest question. And it's up to you, because if you can go to escrow companies that you know, and title companies you know, and real estate offices, and maybe even there's, CPAs sometimes need notaries. The other thing that needs notaries, and I hate to say this, but it's true, is the rest homes. I was signing some notaries at some of the retirement communities because one of the friends I had that was a notary, he retired and he needed somebody to take his place. So you can always find people that need notaries, and you're going to make a minimum of 15 to 20 bucks a time. But when you sign a set of loan documents, you can make literally $250 or more. It does take about an hour to sign the docs. Now, I had somebody charge me $475 for my reverse mortgage loan docs. So it just depends on how aggressive you want to be. And people ask me how I've been self-employed and not had a boss for the last 35 years. And that's because I've done all that. I did, I had my notary license, my real estate license, and my mortgage license. And that way you can kind of switch things around. Now, I truly believe, after speaking to my brother, he was saying that he thinks the rates are going to dip a little bit, but probably like October. So be prepared. If you have buyers that are ready to buy, get them ready, start looking for homes. And usually at the end of September, mid-October, we're going to see a drop in the rates a little bit. And that would be the time to jump in. But we're only talking about a quarter to 3/8. Okay. Now, a quarter to 3/8. Hey, Sharon, it's your favorite appraiser. Hi, how you doing? Understanding the mortgage process course. I don't know when we're going to do that. What you can do is call real estate trainers and ask them if we're going to do it again. I am actually going to record understanding the mortgage process. And anytime I have a recorded class, you're also going to get the PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint, the recorded class, and an hour of mentoring all comes for all my classes that I'm going to be selling on my website. And they're also going to be probably a little bit cheaper, or shall I say less expensive than the live classes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do live classes also. So we'll see how that goes. But the live classes will be in Brea on Imperial Highway. Anybody have any other questions? Did I answer everybody's questions? Because you guys that are online can always call me, because that's one of the benefits of watching me live is anything we talked about. You're working full time, and you want my opinion about farming. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. Farming is worth it, but it depends on where you're going to farm. So let me explain something. If you get a listing, like I have a listing in the one that just went live today in Moreno Valley. Now, because Jessica was the only one of my agent that was willing to go out there and have the time to go out there and meet with contractors to get the place ready to go, she's going to be holding the open houses. Now, in the perfect world, if she didn't have to go out of time and I wasn't really busy, the timing wasn't very good for us releasing it today. So the best thing that you could do is have an open house like on Friday night. We wanted to have one tonight, but she didn't get back in time. And that Friday night is an open house for all the neighbors. We already met all the neighbors. All the neighbors know us because the house was like the worst house in the neighborhood. You live in a condo. Flyers, yes, do flyers, but don't do flyers, do door hangers. Okay, so let's say that you get a listing in your complex or where you live. Now you can do door hangers, but you have to be careful and you have to see what the association says, because in a condo or a townhome area, you're going to have a problem with the association. So you might want to do mailers. Mailers might work, but you always want to have contact with everybody in the neighborhood. You can go door knocking, and door knocking is better than door hanging. So what I do is I go door knocking and I take flyers with me. And I take my business cards with me, and I say, I've been by your home. I stopped by to talk to you about what's happening with, always say legislation or with interest rates. Not I stopped by because I want to list your house, because that's not a very fun thing to do. And if you keep up to date on everything that's going on, you can do the door knocking. You can go to community events. The best thing you do is go to community events. One of the best ones that I got the most business at was when I went to one of those tasting things, like when they have the taste of the town and people are renting booths and you get to taste all the food. You go up there and you talk to those people, and there's people standing around and you're talking to them. And I went to the Taste of the Town in Chino, and I got one lady that needed to refinance and another lady that was looking to move from Norco to Chino. So the Taste of the Town is really good because you're always talking about food and other things, and everything comes up. I've been appraising a ton of condos, manufactured homes for some reason. An update on what they're doing. Manufactured homes are hard to do loans on, but condos aren't so bad. But remember that the interest rates are higher for condos and townhomes and manufactured homes. So interest rates are slightly higher. So a single family home right now with good credit is about 5.875. That's not the APR, that's just the interest rate on the note, depending on somebody's credit. So, it's really hard to talk about interest rates because we're supposed to talk about the APR. And there's a lot of people talking on the internet and on TikTok about the actual interest rate, and they're talking about the note rate. They're not talking about the APR. So that's not, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand. The whole point that they said, okay, we have to talk about the APR and we have to have the good faith estimate and show people, well, it's not the good faith estimate anymore, it's the loan estimate, is so people know how to shop around. Well, it's hard to understand how to shop around if nobody's taught you how to shop around. So basically what happens is when you talk to somebody and they tell you the note rate, but they don't tell you the APR, you have to ask for the APR, and they're supposed to tell it to you so that you can figure out how much are the costs. Because if somebody gives you a really low interest rate, but their APR is really high, that means they're charging you a lot of fees to get to that interest rate. Now, if they're going to say that they have if somebody else has a higher note rate, but the APR is lower, then effectively you're getting a lower cost on the loan. So there's lots of stuff to talk about. And anytime you guys have questions, write them down or put them in my comment section so that I can talk about those when we come on to talk live. Anything else you guys want to know about? Because I'm going to be going, and I'm going to actually go now live on TikTok. So I'll see you guys next Friday. I try to get on every Friday. I'm pretty sure that next Friday I might be at the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel because it's a board meeting. So we'll see where we're at, and I'll definitely be here for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free always to contact me. My number is 714-745-6348. If you want to see what I have on my website, there's not much there yet, but we're going to have some videos up there, and that's ssbutler.com. I do have a Facebook page, but it's not up and running much yet. So I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to helping you with all your real estate questions and needs. Feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you soon.